Live. Right.
This one never, we never catch the opening.
You live, bro.
Am I?
Yeah, it just popped up.
Alright, go for it.
Go.
Alright, yeah, we on. Alright, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, before we begin, we want to give all the praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'harachak Kodash, give honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and blessings and salutations to all you sincere brothers, alright, you sincere Akim, you honest brothers, man, that are laboring in this gospel with sincerity and in truth, alright, laboring in this ministry, alright, putting your life on the line as a living sacrifice. All right, and being real with your brothers, man. You know, and basically in this lesson we're gonna be dealing with integrity.
That's right.
All right, and as the title say, integrity is integral. It's very fundamental and very essential to this thing of ours, man. Because if we're being fashioned to be a kingdom of priests, we're being groomed up to be righteous rulers and judges on the earth. One of the characteristics of a judge is to have morality. All right, you go by a code of ethics, man, and the ethical codes that we go by is the law, statutes, commandments.
That's right.
All right, that's our moral code, man. See, the people in this world, they don't have morality. All right, they live by means of their own instinct. They live animalistic. They live according to their pleasures. They judge according to their pleasure, their emotions.
Their flesh.
That's their flesh. That's why you got a lot of niggas that we find out in Israel that they're just that. They're niggas. Because they don't have integrity. They don't have any code of ethics, no honor, man. That's why they do what the hell they want to do. All right, you got guys that don't want to fall in line with order. They despise order, dominion. They're very unreasonable. You know, they're not fair. You know.
I just want to make a quick statement, bro, about what you said. You said despising order. This is not like the brother Elder Yashwamba said earlier. If you don't like order, then this isn't for you.
No.
Especially here at Great Millstone. There's no time and no place for rogue entities and freelance, freestyling and freelancing, man. Ain't no space for that in this thing. Because the spirit is moving on one accord. That's what the Shemaiah prayer is talking about. We're all on one accord, meaning we're all linked together in the chain. And there's a part of the chain that starts the chain all the way down to the last link in the chain. Not that one is less important, but one comes before the other. There's an order to it.
Yeah. That's right, man. And in order for you to respect that, you gotta have, that righteous characteristics, man. All right. Hey, in this thing, integrity is very integral, man. Very essential, very important, man.
Vital.
It's vital. The niggas in the world, they don't operate with morale, man. Okay. So if we're being groomed to be righteous kingdoms, righteous kings and priests and rulers on the earth, then you gotta show characteristics of one, man. And how you conduct yourself, your conversation, your behavior, how you judge certain issues among your brothers. All right. If somebody is being wicked, you judge them accordingly. If somebody is merciful, and you judge them with mercy. If somebody is if somebody's doing the right thing, then you consider that. But you don't because you get emotional about something, you don't take that as means to be very unreasonable when it comes to your judgment. And a lot of niggas that come into this thing, that's their problem. They become emotional and they lose integrity if they even had any to begin with.
Right.
Okay? Going tit for tat with brothers, man. Getting offended when a brother gets on your case.
just real quick, Sloppy. But when you count the cost coming into this thing, you got to count that. You need to figure out, like a lot of Jake came in, they didn't have a man to show them how to be men, but in this thing they have to grow up. But then they're emotional like women, so they fall out. You know, they don't have that basic building block of understanding what it is to be a man and to endure and to take the load. Yep. And so what do? They get real what's the word you just used?
Hurt.
Yeah, emotional. They get real emotional. And as a man, that's the enemy. Yeah. Emotions are your enemy in this thing. You know, you not to say you don't have them, you have them, but then you control them, and then you move from a stable mind state.
Yep.
Because when you move emotional, you thinking like a woman. You're not thinking rational. You're not using wisdom as your steps. You're just going off of how you feel, impulse.
Yep. And feelings go right back to flesh.
Yeah.
Senses. Yeah, carnality.
And being emotional and carnal is why you got movements out there that's putting up videos and stalking brothers and making sure they can find any and every little thing on brothers. All right, just for their emotional fulfillment. That's what they're doing. It's all about their emotional fulfillment. Mm-hmm. You know, instead of considering and being rational and saying, well, the Lord did say, render to no man evil for evil.
That's right.
You know, that doesn't give me room to be wicked to somebody because they're being wicked. If you have integrity, you would think that, man. Mm-hmm. You would at least consider it. You would ponder the morals and the principles that the Lord Yahweh Shai laid before his men and how they would ought to walk.
Yeah.
A lot of niggas, they come in this thing and it's like they ignore the principles that Yahweh Shai laid, man. Could you really say you was one of the disciples that walked with Yahweh Shai with the behavior that you're exhibiting to Israel, man?
Right.
How could you feel right about saying that? You're not walking as one of his disciples, man. Give me I believe it might be 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter. Because basically Yahweh Shai, he left us, you know, ways of how to conduct ourselves, how to be, man. All right. Most of the things that Yahweh Shai did, you know, as far as his actions, it was all based off of his integrity, man. Him being blameless. All right. Basically, I'm not at fault. So if I get buffeted, even though I'm not at fault, hey, I'm justified. You know. But if I'm not, if I got a lot of dirt on me and I'm basically doing so much wickedness, then hey, I should be getting lashed out against. I should be getting persecuted. Mm-hmm. But Yahweh Shai was without sin. Yep. So he was what? He had integrity because he was what? He was blameless. He was whole. He was complete. You really couldn't say nothing about it. Pontius Pilate. Yep. He even saw the integrity that the Lord had. And guess what? He even made he even made a statement that was filled with integrity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this man is blameless. Mm-hmm. Y'all want me to really deal with this man like this? I found nothing to blame this man for. Yeah. See, if he was a hoe, if Pilate was a hoe, right? He would have just been like, yeah, fuck this guy. You know, he's causing an uproar within my kingdom right now. Yeah, y'all do what y'all want with this guy.
But what did he do though? He said, "Hey, all right, I'll do it, but it ain't on me." Right. He made sure he got himself clear from it. Yeah, you know, he's like, "Well, it's got to be on you and your children in it because it can't be on me." Yep. And Jake agreed to it.
Yeah, I think it's 1 Peter 2.
One is a good verse though.
No, 2 and like 20.
It's 1 Peter 2:20. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? Mm-hmm. But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently. Yep. This is acceptable with Yahweh.
That's acceptable the most. So if you're in a situation where you're being blamed for something that you didn't do and you're innocent of it, hey, you maintain your innocency, man. All right. You maintain your innocence by still doing what you're supposed to do, and you take the low. Guess what? That makes you blameless. Okay, because the people that's persecuting you or doing whatever they doing against you for basically no reason, they got to answer to that.
That's right.
You, on the other hand, hey, you were faultless, man, and you took it patiently, man. All right.
It's a special thing to take the low, man.
Yeah.
Especially to be wrongfully accused and still do the right thing, have integrity, and take the low. It's a special thing at the moment. When the Most High exonerates you, man, he could even honor you after that.
Yeah.
You know, build you up after that for taking that.
Yeah.
Can't think of what I said.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's 21. For even hereunto you were called, because Yahushua also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
Yep.
Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Yeah, no, he there was no guile, man. Meaning there was no deceit.
Yeah.
All right, he was genuine to his death, man. He was honest. All right, he rebuked you accordingly, man. If you was off, he corrected you. If you was righteous, he actually acknowledged that you were right. You know, he told Nathaniel, he said, "Hey, man, you another man that's blameless without guile, man." You know, he literally called him righteous.
Yeah.
That's judging with equity, man. That's not being partial in judgment. All right, you know who's right and who's not. But if a person that's inconsiderate, a person that's unreasonable, and they have no integrity, they'll judge both one and the same.
Like,
You'll judge the wicked along with the righteous, man. You don't care who you dealing judgment out to, as long as it's done, because that's what makes you feel good.
yeah.
And you got guys out there that's like that, man. I'm a just the whole Great Millstone. They all like this. All right, you'll take certain things that you see, you know, within a brother, and you'll say, yeah, this is how all GMS gets down.
Right.
And then you'll use that as means to tell everybody, don't follow Great Millstone. This is what they do. Cause you a wicked nigga, man, and you're very emotional. Okay. Go ahead.
This is 1 Peter 2 and 23. Who when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously.
That's what you call integrity. All right, that's integrity, man. He kept his integrity. You had men that were falsely accusing him. You had men that were setting up wicked counsels to try to find fault with him, what they can falsely accuse him of, so they can condemn him, you know, lock him away or get him put to death. And he just left it in the Lord's hands.
Yeah.
He let the Most High be the judge. Okay? That's what it means of maintaining integrity, meaning you're blameless in a situation. And you know how to judge different situations accordingly, man. All right? Somebody look up the word integrity real quick.
Okay.
And you'll see how it relates to ethics, man.
Then you have it,
Yeah, I think
cause I don't mind grabbing it. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I got it.
you got it.
On here, then you have it up on the tab.
No, I have ethics up.
Oh, okay. Come
I got it. There's integrity. It's a noun. It says the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles.
Strong moral principle, man.
That's our strong moral principle. Straight out the book, man.
The scriptures, man.
From the Heavenly Father.
Yeah. Hey, like one of the principles laid when it comes to dealing with a man that's you know, he has trespasses. You know, he might have done something wrong against a brother, whether he intentionally did it or he didn't do it, or he didn't intentionally do it. What does the Yahweh Shai laid a protocol for that? Matthew 18, it tells you, hey, if there's a brother that's taking in the fault, you as a brother, you're supposed to take him to the side and let him know his transgression or his trespass.
Yep.
All
Him
right.
alone.
And you're supposed to tell that to him alone, man to man, face to face.
Mm-hmm.
And if he acknowledges that, hey, you gained a brother.
Yep.
But if he doesn't, then hey, all right, well,
Counsel.
we're gonna have to go to council on this, bro, because I seen you do it. You know what I'm saying? I witnessed it. It didn't sit right with me, and there's some brothers that also feel the same way because they witnessed it too. So we're gonna take this up because the law says we're gonna go back to the law. It says with 2 or 3 witnesses, then shall it be established.
Yep. And what happened? Yep.
That's what happens. That's order. That's protocol. That's the principle, man. And that makes sense. That's reasonable because you don't want to be. We can't just take somebody's word. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm just picking on you, hey, bro.
Yeah. It could be some. It could be some
piece of-
personal shit.
That's my glass, bro. You keep doing
Huh.
something,
It could be something personal. It could be a grudge or whatever. So he probably just spreading discord because he don't get along with that brother.
Yeah.
You got some brothers that's they be on some other shit.
Yeah.
So that's why it's needful.
Some brothers are hard to read,
Yeah.
and maybe misunderstood and misinterpreted. It's an honest way that could happen.
Right.
Until them brothers get to know each other and feel each other's spirit out.
Yeah.
But never do you just like I believe is what you was going to say, bro. Sloppy, but never do you just go out and intentionally try to find dirt on that man, or just take or vice versa, just accept dirt on you if you don't feel. You just come in and speak honestly one to another, and then if it's something bigger, then you take it to the top. But the point is there's a protocol on how to handle certain things.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was it makes sense why you have to go to council.
Right.
Because when you go to a council, like the scriptures tell you, do nothing without counsel. If you take it to council, that's you being considerate about making sure when you handle this issue, it's handled in decency and in order.
That's right.
So that there be no confusion. And you and everybody that's involved, if you have witnesses, hey, they're a part of that council.
Right.
And the person that's mediating the actual council, they're gonna, with a rational mind, because we're being judges, right? So you're gonna be a righteous judge. You're gonna judge it accordingly, according to the law. Yeah, you're not gonna be partial. You ain't gonna show favoritism. Okay, you're gonna be righteous. You're gonna be upright about it.
Right is right, man.
So the scriptures say, after 2 or 3 witnesses, it should be established. So if you're still denying it, then hey, this guy, obviously he just, he thinks he's up. He thinks he's right. He maintains his innocence. All right, well, you know what? You go on your own. All right, y'all separate, and the Lord's gonna handle the situation.
And even further, if you feel that you've been wrongfully accused and brought to counsel and you don't think you did it, you're still supposed to take the low.
Yep.
Take the low and let the Lord sort it out.
Yep.
A lot of times when something like that happens, the brother's been wrongfully accused and the judgment goes in another way. A couple of brothers thought they saw it a certain way, or they understood the way somebody said they saw it, and they had to mediate the situation. And they found out that it wasn't the case. Brothers would come back like, oh, brother, remember when I said this? My bad, I was wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
That's a good thing for you to humble down and come back after the fact, as well as them to take the low initially. Mm-hmm. Oh, my bad, I didn't know I offended you like that. Won't happen again, bro, my bad.
Yeah. But you got a lot of bitch ass niggas, man.
Yeah.
They don't understand that. They still come in with that black culture vibe, that spirit that they being raised by women, seeing how women operate amongst themselves. They mothers, they aunties, they grandmamas. Women they naturally don't have that. They don't have that characteristic, man.
And it's sisterhood until you actually have to really like an individual,
Right.
you know, till it's about the individual, or you got to take the low versus another individual.
Yeah.
There's women are some of the worst beasts on the planet, honestly. Just to be all the way real with you, you know, as far as how they deal with each other. There's no real sisterhood like that. There's a brotherhood that's for real. There's a reason why King Solomon said what he said. About 1 out of 1,000 men have I found, but of a woman have I not found.
Even if you look at the sororities, which those are Greek customs anyways, but if you look at those sororities, they call them sisterhoods. But in order to get in, you gotta do some crazy stuff to get in. Some degrading stuff, and then they're recording it because just off the fact that if you do go against them, they could always say, "Oh, I got this on you. I got this evidence on you."
Yeah.
That goes the same with the frats. That's not no true brotherhood. This is the only true brotherhood.
This is the standard right here. This is the measuring stick.
This is what they should be. But we shouldn't even be in those Grecian customs. But this is the standard. Like Yahushua said, who is my mother and my sister? Those that do the work with me.
Yeah.
Who are my mother and my brethren? It's these men that's right here in the trenches with you.
Yeah, and like you mentioned King David. King David, he even had the love that he had for Jonathan surpassed the love of a woman. The reason why he had so much love for Jonathan was because of the utmost respect that they had for one another.
That's right. An honesty.
They were very honest with each other, man.
Yeah.
And that's what they loved about each other, man. That they can go to each other and keep it 1,000 with each other, man.
Yep.
And they'll look out for one another. Jonathan knew King David was innocent. He knew his father was being a demon.
Yep.
Okay.
Jealous and everything else. Yep.
Yeah. And Jonathan was real reasonable, so he looked out for King David, man.
Look, man, Pops will come to get you.
Yeah.
He's going to flee, man. This dude come to get you.
Yeah.
And that javelin, man, it was really aimed for your heart, man. Like,
Yeah.
you let him know what it was, man.
Yeah. So the way they looked out for one another, that's how a brotherhood ought to be. We always got to have each other in interest, man. Esteeming another brother over ourselves.
Said it, bro. Took the words out of my mouth.
We can't be inconsiderate. We can't be selfish, man.
You gotta consider everything you do if it may offend or create a stumbling block for another brother.
Yeah, exactly. And if you'll be successful at that if you have what you call integrity. Okay, that's why integrity is so important in this thing of ours, man. And a lot of guys that fall out, you'll see that they never really had that trait. It was never fake love, man. Fake humility. It wasn't sincere.
That's good right there.
Read it.
This is on the comment board. Is the brother. There's a few of them on here, but I'm gonna start with this one at the bottom. You call Lawaya Yahweh Shai for the elect. It says Wisdom of Solomon 1 verse 1. It says, "Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart," which is your mind, right? It says, "And in simplicity of heart seek Him." That's what this is about. Because when you seek Him, you're seeking His mind, the spirit that He came in, which is the same spirit of Yahweh. When you search that, you're only going to search righteousness and truth. You're not going to defraud one another. You're not going to lay a stumbling block before somebody. You're going to consider all angles before you do that.
And that's what it means to be rational. It basically means to regard and to consider basically everything. That way you can weigh things in a balance, man. And when you weigh things, that's how you're able to dish out fair judgment, righteous judgment. See, that's how the Lord knows if you're following, if you're trying to attain the mind of Yahweh Shai, is if you're actually walking His walk, if you're doing the things that He would do. Because the Lord, He weighs our heart in the balance, man. He ponders the spirit.
Yep.
So He know if you're trying to seek to have the mind of Yahweh Shai, or if you just having your own mind and really you lean into your own mind. He could see all the filth, the inconsistencies. He could see the deceit. He could see all that, man, because our own hearts is not right.
Yeah.
Okay. You looking for
Yeah,
something?
yeah. Let me see if it keeps going. If I could,
because the Lord, He can see if you have integrity, man. He knows your character.
I want to make a point about it.
Yeah,
but
and he tested Job, knowing that Job was going to remain his integrity. He knew Job had integrity, man. Job was blameless. He didn't curse the Most High when he started catching hell. You know, he didn't start speaking wickedly or ill of the Most High. He took whatever the Most High put on him.
Yeah.
He didn't blame the Most High. He started looking to himself like, damn, am I going off?
Yeah. He didn't blame him.
Whatever sins I got, Lord, show me so I can get it right. King David was the same way.
Mm-hmm. And look how much integrity the Most High had to reward those men after they went through those trials. I just read this the other day. He's not slack concerning his promise. Mm-hmm. If you keep your integrity, he will honor you, man. He will give you what he have any we quoted it the other day. Have any
trust in the Lord.
Trust in the Lord and we're forsaken. Mm-hmm. You know? But I want to make a quick point about this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just jump straight to the point. Verse 4 is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1, verse 4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin. And when you read from 1 down to 4, it kind of goes into it a little bit, but I'll just make the point, which the point is, the Most High ponders the hearts. So he knows if you want this wisdom for godly gain, for worldly gain, or whatever else, or for unintegral reasons, for reasons that aren't worthy to obtain this wisdom, for any malicious way, or because like if Polite would have got this truth, man, if he'd have got the full understanding of these breakdowns and these scriptures, this dude would have sold them. He'd have put them in a book and sold it. You know what I mean? And so that's why you can't get that. Certain people can't get it. And when there's always, they'll come into the truth for a while, but when it comes across something that they have to exhibit integrity for, that's when the problem comes in. And being falsely accused, that's a good test. I didn't do nothing wrong, man. I feel like I did nothing wrong. Well, that's all right. Take the low anyway. But the Most High won't keep that. That's why these guys fall out now, because he won't keep that the wisdom that you have, that he gave you coming into this thing. He won't leave it with you because it don't deserve to be in your body.
Yeah, to walk in this wisdom, man, you're supposed to show growth in your character. Mm-hmm. Applying basically what you know. That's wisdom.
Be not a hearer but a doer also.
That's how the Lord knows you got wisdom, because you're applying what you're learning and what you receive. And you're growing in the knowledge. Okay? And with that growth, that's when you're going to maintain, you're going to grow psychologically, or you're going to think different. You're going to put your emotions to the side. Like Apostle Paul, he said, hey, when I spoke as a child, I learned as a child, but once I became a man, I put away childish things, man.
He was applying wisdom.
Yeah.
That he knew where to apply it now.
Yep.
Even if you take his ministry before he came into the truth, when he was persecuting the church, he understood the difference once he came into it. Like, damn, I was messing up, so I gotta go atone for this. I gotta go, find a way out of what I did. That's why he worked so hard. Yeah. Which was the right thing to do, because he got that full understanding out after that.
Yeah.
There's Proverbs 19:1. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool.
I should read that.
Hey,
Yeah, that was.
Read that again.
Yeah.
This Proverbs 19:1. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool.
Yeah, it's better that you poor and walk in integrity than somebody that's perverse with his lips.
Hey.
Man, you speaking all type of wickedness, man. You blaspheme. Or you say, oh, we ain't gotta come up with, you ain't gotta learn from a man. You so anxious to preach false doctrine just to counter what the men of the Lord are teaching.
And you hit it on the head, bro.
You compromising your integrity when you able to, because of your anger and your grudge that you have against men, that you're willing to bend scripture, you willing to basically tarnish the doctrine that you once learned. You willing to do that just to come against the men that taught you? Are you doing all this out of spite? You compromising your integrity, man.
That's right.
You showing that you really don't have a moral character about yourself. And all them niggas that fall out, that's exactly what they do. The moment they fall out and lose faith, they compromise their integrity. It's like they never had none.
These other One West camps is what first thing came to my mind. How you gonna grow up, like Nate in particular? How you gonna come up learning the truth and the name and all that stuff, but then you switch it up? We know you gotta be paid off, man, because you knew it. You gave edifying lessons on certain things. Well, you didn't keep your integrity by not taking the purpose. You didn't keep your integrity by pushing the name and the importance of the name. There's videos still out with him stressing how important the name was. Yeah. You know? But now the name ain't important. We don't know the name. You know?
Yeah. That was it. Let me pull this up real quick. This is from dictionary.com. It says the branch of, this is the word there is ethics, which is basically another word for integrity. Ethics definition, the branch of philosophy that deals with morality. Mm-hmm. Ethics is concerned with distinguishing between good and evil in the world, between right and wrong human actions, and between virtuous and non-virtuous characteristics of people. Mm-hmm. All right, this is what you need to understand in order to be a righteous judge. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be able to distinguish between righteous works and evil works, man. Mm-hmm. If somebody's being rational or irrational, if somebody's being merciful or not being merciful, if somebody's being sincere, if somebody's being insincere, you got to be able to judge that, man. And get Malachi 3 and 18 real quick, because that's pretty much the type of men that the Lord is raising. He's raising righteous men that's going to walk in the Spirit, and they're going to judge with ethics, man. They're going to walk in the code of ethics, knowing how to discern between righteousness and wickedness, man. All right? Because the Most High, He's the ultimate ethical judge. Mm-hmm. All His judgments are pure. They're righteous, man. He's not unreasonable in his judgments. If a homosexual gets put to death, does that make him wicked? No, you go back to the code that tells you a homosexual is supposed to be put to death.
And he's an abomination.
Yeah. Straight up, man. Malachi 3.
15.
You can start like up a verse or two.
Yeah, I'll start at 17.
Go ahead.
Unless you want the book of remembrance. Talk about that in the 16th verse.
You
It's in the same chunk. Okay, Malachi chapter 3, verse 16, it says, Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another. And the Lord Yahweh hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord Yahweh.
And that's His word. Go ahead.
That's right. And that thought upon His name. Mm-hmm. It says, and that's why we have this book, right? Yep. It says, and they shall be mine, said the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels. And the jewels here says special treasure, mm-hmm. Right? So talking about the elect, basically. It says, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. It says,
and He's going to spare His elect. That's who He's going to have mercy on. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It says, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked.
Then you're going to be able to return to discern between the righteous and the wicked. Mm-hmm. Meaning you're gonna be able to distinguish between what's right and what's not.
There's people that still say Martin Luther King was a good dude. You know, just Barack Obama was a good guy, man.
And what makes him good?
Yeah.
Right.
Was he keeping the commandments?
Dr. Watt.
Or was he a sellout? Was he a liar? Was he a false prophet? Was he a homo?
Yeah.
Okay, you judge by the scriptures, man.
That's right.
That's how you know who's wicked and who ain't.
Cause not to change the course of the lesson, but it's go back to how it said philosophy and ethics, right? Because in the school they teach you about all these different philosophers and their definition of what's good and what's bad.
Yeah.
You know, and some of them will say, "Oh, well, it's only something is good when it gets done, even if you don't feel like doing it, or if you feel like doing it and you don't do it." That's like they'll keep switching the definitions, and it's like they'll put 3 different definitions in one definition to make it seem good. But that's just bringing a bunch of confusion. Yep. If you just go by the book, the scriptures, because the scriptures was there before they came up with their philosophies, because they were quoting scriptures too. Yep. You know,
in the ancient world they were a lot of great proverbs and the world and sayings and quotes were derived from the scripture. You know, and it was just reworded in another way, but the same sentiment of what of certain scriptures was talking about. I'm going to start at 18 again. It says, "Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked." That's
ethics. You're going to be using ethics, man.
Yeah. Hey, because it's easy to know the difference. Is he keeping the commandments? Is he doing it in truth? Is his intent sincere or not? Dude, that's basics right there.
And with that spirit, it gives you the ability to it gives you the ability to discern spirits, man. You know what type of person you are. That's why you got a lot of brothers, like the head brothers and top brothers, man. That's out there, the apostles and elders and different heads of the camps. A lot of those men, they're discern. They know how to discern when a spirit ain't right and when it ain't. And that's why when judgment comes around, they end up making the righteous decision of casting certain guys out, because they was able to see that there was something there. They used ethics and showed that this guy, he's all these charges coming up on him. Get him up out of here, man. Okay, and they also do it to test your character, your integrity. Yeah. Well, let's see if this man actually learned from this judgment.
Yep.
That'll actually let us know if he was worthy of being put out the camp or not. And a lot of guys, they end up showing and proving that the apostles didn't make no mistake in their judgment. Because you could leave off and become more of a wicked nigga than you were before you got kicked out.
Or you get kicked out and you could have kept your integrity and kept pushing the word.
Yeah.
But that's how rare is that? People go and they'll teach again once they get kicked out of Great Millstone. They'll keep teaching for a month or 2, maybe even 6 months, then they'll just fade away into oblivion. You know, and it happens that way. They didn't keep their integrity, meaning proving that the apostles or whoever the heads were that made the judgment call was on point with that. You know, because we got to remember, just to say this, Salaki, but we got to remember, this thing is about appeasing Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh Shai, not about pleasing men or anything else. But that doesn't mean that these men that are over you aren't guiding you down the right path. That doesn't mean despise order and government. Yeah. Because falling into order and government and being submissive to that is a show of integrity and obedience. Yeah. Let me wrap this up. It says, "Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not."
God.
Yep.
And that's how we're able to, when we when we call certain guys out, man, and we say, oh man, that he's more than likely a 2/3. It ain't because, you know, it's how we feel inside, you know, it's our emotion. That's just how we feel it at the time. Oh, he's a nigga. No, man. We base it off of the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
His character, if your character ain't lining up with what the scriptures tell you of how you're supposed to conduct yourself, that's how we can conclude that you're not right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we see you're not showing any kind-heartedness to your brother. Are you misusing brothers? You're not treating brothers the way you want to be treated. Are you not loving your neighbor as thyself? Then that we judge you based off of that. Or if you the type of dude who's going off in a doctrine and we try to correct you on it, and you say, nah, man, nah. You know, no, I think I'm right. You know, the Lord gave me that revelation. Well, we gonna judge your ass on that, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna get judged based off of that. It has nothing to do with our personal feelings about somebody, man. It's never personal. You're not supposed to be personal when it comes to judgment, man.
Yeah. Hey, how many times did I don't say how many times, but King David got cussed out and took the law. Had integrity and took the law on that. And it was that Nathan that was cussing?
Nathan.
And it was a reason for it. He knew who was that hey, Lord, you know, King, like, why is he cussing you out like that? He tripping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember who was it Ahab? No, Ahab.
Yeah, I think it was it Abishai?
I don't remember who it was. Maybe so, but he was like, hey, he can't talk to you that way. He's like, nah, man, just don't even trip, because he knew that through the Spirit he's getting cussed out for something that he did.
Yeah. That's
a lot of times that happens. A lot of times you get
integrity.
cussed out for something else. You just take the law on it. You
That's integrity.
Piece it together where it belongs. You know, it may not even be on the right topic, but you piece it together where it goes, and you make the adjustments.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Get Genesis 18 real quick. 18 and Genesis 18 and around I think it's later on in the chapter. Start at like 23.
This is Genesis 18 and 23. And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked?
Yeah, now Abraham was basically trying to make a case for those wicked ass Sodomites over in Sodom and Gomorrah. And the Most High was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Because Abraham asked him, you like, so you gonna destroy everybody here, including those that you consider righteous? Because if the Lord was to do that, then he wouldn't have integrity.
I just
you know,
the
Lord, he would. It basically wouldn't be fair. That's unreasonable. If you're gonna destroy the righteous with the wicked, no, whoever perisheth being innocent.
Yeah. And where would the righteous
cut off, man? So if the Lord get your ass, it's because you were wicked. He's not gonna get you because you're righteous, man. Okay. So yeah, get that real quick. Start at 23.
Yeah.
And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked?
Mm-hmm.
Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
Go ahead.
That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?
Read that again.
Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?
Start from the top again.
That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked.
Because Abraham knew that wasn't right.
Well, it wouldn't be right.
It wouldn't be right to do
you're gonna destroy those that are not in sin, along with those that are in sin. You know, that would be inconsiderate on the Mosai's part, and we know the Mosai don't get in like that, man.
Sure.
You know, like if the Mosai was, if the Mosai had the mind of you 2/3 niggas,
oh man,
if he had the mind of niggas like Yakko and all these niggas, man,
build a God Jesus out there.
If he had the mind of you know, ITR, all these niggas, man, if he had the mindset that y'all niggas have, then he wouldn't have mercy on the whole nation.
Right.
He wouldn't even consider. He just destroyed all Israel at once, even though there were men who actually held fast to their faith.
Yeah.
You know, and served them and remained you know, loyal, you know, to serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If the Lord wasn't considerate, then there wouldn't be a separation. There wouldn't be an elect where He's going to have mercy and, you know, He's going to make sure they're preserved out of the said perils. He's going to deliver them and reward them for their you know, their works of faith. You know, for staying firm. If he was unreasonable, we all get destroyed all together, man. I'm gonna just wipe everybody out, man. All right, he would have, like what he did with the Noah's flood. He would have just flooded everybody. He wouldn't have allowed even those last 8 souls to make it, man. You know. But the Lord, he didn't see any fault within Noah and his son. So he for Noah's sake, he saved Noah and his family. And it was also so the earth can be replenished again.
Yep.
Okay? So the Lord was always fair and balanced in his judgments. Hey, those people, they had a chance to get it right for over 100 years when he sent Noah out there to prophesy to them. So they actually had a chance.
It was integrity.
That was the Lord showed integrity to his creation.
And just like in this go around, all the earth is going to know, man. They had, not the heathen, but all the 2/3 is even going to know that you had a chance.
Yeah.
You knew the truth. You knew what he was going to do. We thoroughly you'll be thoroughly made edified on what's going to go down if you don't change your ways. But the 2/3 not going to do it anyway. And they don't, which means they deserve what they get.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
And that the righteous should be as the wicked that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?
Yeah, that's what he told the Most High. He said, should not the judge of the earth do right? Meaning judge in righteousness. All right, and go ahead, keep going.
And the Lord Yahweh said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes.
Man, that's fair. If you could show me at least 50 cats that ain't doing that faggot shit over here, then I'll spare the whole city.
Yep.
I'll spare the whole city if you could find me 50 of them. And then the Lord was like, you know what? Better yet, I'll reduce those numbers for you to show you that I am fair, man. I'm trying to. I've dealt with it. I was long suffering with this shit, but the smell is getting to me. It smells like shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of this shit, man.
Oh, he went down straight to 5, didn't he?
Yeah.
Went from 50 down to 5.
The Lord was knocking down the numbers, man. Hey, show me. He went from 50 down to 5. Like, show me 5 righteous people over here, man. And I'll repent.
40 and 5 slide.
Come on, man. That's integrity, man. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 5. I think it was down to
28 is
20.
28 is talking about verse 28 where it's talking about it.
Yeah, because when you go down to verse 31,
it gets
it got down to 20.
Yeah.
All right.
You just kept dropping the numbers down.
Yeah. Oh, select your 10. Select
it. Got down to 10.
You chopped it down to 10.
He kept going down.
You can find me 10 of these Canaanites that ain't down with this shit. Hey, I'll repent, man.
Yeah.
It's five times this.
So basically, what the Lord showed was that, hey, when I judge this place, I'm blameless in destroying this place. There was no unrighteousness in my judgment.
You gotta imagine, this is a full thriving city. This ain't, like a LA or something, like a Hollywood or something. This ain't just a few, 200 people, in this town. This is a big town, a big city. Just find me a few, man. 50 people out of all these hundreds of thousands of people. You know, people always forget that this is a full thriving city. You know, a little cluster of cities.
Yeah. So hey, the Lord, he displayed integrity within his judgments. Before he was getting ready to judge them, he basically had to show like, hey, they're committing wickedness. I'm not going to judge all of them if not all of them is doing wickedly, man. You know. So hey, that's how we're supposed to be. Okay, you gotta know how to distinguish. All right, go from there. Somebody get Isaiah the third chapter.
Okay. What verse you want?
I believe it's around like 10.
Yeah.
10.
Isaiah chapter 3 verse 10, it says, "Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their own doings.
Go ahead.
Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him."
So you dish out the judgment accordingly, man.
I know another one.
If you righteous, hey man, you gonna get the fruits of your works, man. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be rewarded for your righteous deeds. But if you wicked, hey, it's gonna follow through with a wicked judgment. All right, that's being a righteous judge, man. Okay, but you're not gonna put the righteous in the banner with the wicked and say, "Oh, all y'all are one and the same," and I'm gonna just judge all of you. That's like making a vast generalization of something.
If you wear closed toes, if you wear sandals, you homosexual. You know, there's some way off that you can't judge everybody that do it because both do it. You know, yeah. You can't judge everybody like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when you make judgments based off of generalizations, man, that's totally unreasonable. And you know who do that the best? Women, bro.
Yep.
That's in there, bro.
These women.
Yep.
They do that very well, man.
Yep.
They'll take a problem that one nigga had and they'll just look at all men the same way.
Yeah.
Us on the flip side, and we see it based off of experience and observation, the majority of our women, they're not right. The Lord, King Solomon, he had 1,000 women, and he did it as an experiment.
Yep.
And he saw within his own eyes, out of 1,000 women, he didn't find one right woman.
Yep.
He didn't make that observation just based off of how he felt. And he saw what these women were doing.
And it wasn't all one thing. They all did. It wasn't a general one thing that they all did. They all did something different or separate. But they all did something.
Yeah.
That was the point. They all did something, but it was different things. He can say, oh, they all are adulterous or covetous or, whatever it may have been. That one or two may have done, or 200 or whatever. But all 1,000 had some fault to them, was the point.
Yeah, man. And even in his observation, living in this time, we know we can't set it back to those standards.
Right.
So we know that you women, really all you women ain't right. But even then, we still, us being, the judges, being very, fair and reasonable judges, we acknowledge that there's some women that's trying to get right, even though, they're not going to be 100%. We know that there's decent, women out there that's preserved for the elect men. That's those women that's going to get salvation. We acknowledge that even though we get on our women and we say the majority of you, the Most High is going to destroy you, we still acknowledge that small percent of women that's not going to get destroyed.
Yep.
Okay? We don't put all y'all in a bunch. We leave that to women. Women do that. Okay? So you got men that come into this thing and they have that, they share that same sentiment of a damn woman, man. You can't do that, man. We even have the integrity to admit that it's still guys, and it's unfathomable, but there's still guys among guys like Nate and Johanna and them that can still make it, man.
That's gonna make it. There's gonna be some of them guys over there that's gonna make it.
Yeah.
But some of those guys are caught up in that and they sincere. They just can't see it right now, but when their eyes are fully open,
It's gonna be revealed.
yeah, they gonna humble down and come right into the understanding.
And they're gonna use the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of them already using the name.
Okay.
And they just make light of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Hey, somebody get 2 Samuel 22 real quick.
I got something. Actually, if I can go with this right quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11 says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it will be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High God. Yeah, you can't judge both. It'll be well with the righteous, but it will not be well with the wicked. You can't just generalize and throw everybody in the same boat. You know, you can't do it. Now, the reason why the Most High could do our whole nation like that, even though there were, because we all were subject to sin. There was some good guys, I can't say righteous, but some guys that was, you know, pretty good, so to speak, the men written in this book, is because we all were subject to sin. We all fell short. And the deeds of the law is what condemned us. You know, but as it becoming a more spiritual thing now, based in faith, the standard isn't the same no more.
Kind of even going back to that good. Didn't y'all was trying to say, and nobody is good but my Father only?
Yep.
You know, but that's the example we look towards earth, because Yahushua walked in the flesh and beat the sin and beat flesh in the Bible. Beat death.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't sin while he was on earth. So that's the example we're supposed to be looking towards. You know, these parables that he spoke, they're more than what's on the surface. As the brothers always say, they're manifold. You know, they have multiple meanings. This is more than just cut to those people they were cutting, but these are also lessons how we supposed to be walking. You know,
those
like
that understood it versus those that didn't and went over their head.
Just what he said. I forgot who he was talking to, but he said, "Am I supposed to go back in my mother's womb and be born again?"
Yeah.
That was when Yahushua said, "No, you're not supposed to be go back in your mother's womb and be born again. You're supposed to be born in the Spirit." Just that in itself, being born in the Spirit is a different walk. You know, being born in the Spirit, you learn how to judge all these things. Because coming into the truth, you have to put off that old man. You know, that old man didn't have the morality you do when you're in that truth.
Yeah, the integrity.
Kind of the integrity, the ethics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you was judging the world you see off of how the world perceives everything. You wasn't judging it from the scriptures. Mm-hmm. You know, if somebody did you dirty in the world, you'd go back and do them dirty 10 times more. You know, instead of like you said, don't render evil unto a man evil. Mm-hmm. You know, you weren't dealing with the scripts.
Yeah, you was a dirtbag before you actually came into this understanding. This understanding cleaned you up.
Yep.
It turns you from being that dirtbag, man. Now you don't. Certain ways that you may have had in the past, you don't have no more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back in the world, you know, if a man committed adultery on you, back when you was in the world, you probably would have got back at his ass by going to, pop his woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if your own woman committed adultery on you, you know, you probably would have went and smashed her mama or some crazy shit. Yeah. But that's off.
Her best friends.
That's totally off. You know what I'm saying? And it's truth. You let the Most High be the judge on that.
Yeah.
In the ancient world, you know, she would have just got put to death. The judgment would have went out.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you know, in this society now, you just gotta maintain wisdom, man.
That's why I brought that out. Because though evil be done, you know, a sinner do evil 100 times, but it'll still be well with the righteous, but not with the wicked.
Exactly.
You know, you gotta believe and endure that. You have to just wait. And those days be prolonged. You still gotta wait till the judgment comes down.
Yeah.
What script was that you called?
Second
Yeah,
Samuel.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 Samuel 22, you start like 23.
2 Samuel 22 and 23. For all his judgments were before me, and as for his statutes, I did not depart from them.
Mm-hmm.
I was also upright before him, and have kept myself from mine iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the Lord Yahweh hath recompensed me according to my righteousness.
Yeah, so he will reimburse you on what you put out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you sowed righteousness, you're gonna reap it. If you sow wickedness, you're gonna reap that.
Look at the story of Moses. You know, he grew up in Pharaoh's house, but as is spoken of in Hebrews the 11th chapter, he basically put away the luxurious life to be yoked together with his people. And look how the Most High treated him. Moses had spiritual power through Yahweh. You know, being able to do all those acts. You know,
And let our people let our people out of Egypt.
So he got a higher positioning with his people than when he was in Pharaoh's house.
Let them out of bondage, so to speak, you
Mm-hmm.
know, which is a glorious thing, man. That's honor worthy.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
This is 25. Therefore the Lord hath recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness in his eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
With the merciful, thou wilt show thyself merciful.
With the merciful, thou will show thyself merciful. You see that? That's why when you go into in the New Testament, Yahweh Shai said, if you won't, you're supposed to forgive your brother of his trespasses, and if you don't, you know, what makes you think that the Lord's gonna forgive your trespasses, man?
Yeah. All guilty.
You gotta be fair, man. Don't expect mercy if you're not gonna give it. Matter of fact, get that, bro. So I think it's Luke 17. Get that in Luke 17. I think it might be like around the fourth verse, maybe.
Okay.
Because it's about integrity. It's about being fair, man.
Yeah, that's what it's at.
Luke 17.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It's funny. This is what I was thinking of. I think this is the script I was thinking of just right now. Luke 17, start verse 3. It says, "Take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him.
Mm-hmm.
And if he repent, forgive him."
And if he repents, forgive him.
Yep.
Show some character, man. That man, he's humbling himself to you. That he's acknowledging his fault, and he's you know he means well, man. He wants to get it right. But you got niggas out there that won't show that mercy.
We all fight, you know.
Yeah.
Some brothers is battling way tougher demons than you.
Yeah.
You know, the apostles are battling way heavier demons than everybody in this truth. You know, because they're at the forefront of it. So knowing that, you gotta realize that every man is fighting a whole different fight. Every brother is going through completely different trials.
And give a brother a break, man. You know what I mean? Like, for real, give a brother a break, man. Give your fellow brother a chance to amend, you know, make amends to the situation, to repent. You leave that space for Jake to do that.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy, and to show you that integrity is not in Israel. Going back to them Avenger niggas, which I don't like talking about them like too much, but when they put out that video about the brother, what's the brother name, man? Bakar, I believe his name, the brother from Trinidad.
Yeah.
And they brought up the situation that happened back then in the past, and the fact that since then the brother had continued in the faith, or he humbled down, he acknowledged his his transgression, and the Spirit got on the elders and made the decision, hey, he could be brought back, man. And because of that, these niggas took it upon themselves to start basically destroying that man's character, man.
Yeah.
That was, and the scriptures tell you, you're not supposed to, you got your apocryphal, get Sirach 8 and 8 real quick.
Yep.
The scriptures tell you you're not supposed to reproach a man that turned from sin.
Yeah. It says it in Oh, I got it.
So if a man actually did transgress and he actually humbles down, you're supposed to forgive him. But a nigga like the Avengers, or basically niggas, any nigga for that matter, or that don't have the mind of the Lord, they'll still reproach you, man. And they'll feel like as long as they cussing you out or trying to make you look bad, it actually makes them feel better. It puts them on a level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you down so I can pull myself up. That's how these niggas operate, man. Yeah, so 8 and 5.
Yeah. Sirach 8 and 5. So reproach not a man that turneth from sin, but remember that we are all worthy of punishment.
Yeah. Are you not looking at yourself?
Yeah.
Like one of the mystery Avengers came on the page earlier talking shit. You know, like I'm like, what you gonna make? You gonna put this video in your next documentary?
Mm-hmm.
And I was being facetious, right? And he was like, you laughing, put LOL like you nervous. Stay tuned. I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be afraid or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we don't really care what you guys do, man.
Right.
We know you niggas have no integrity.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Y'all don't understand that y'all digging a digger hole for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I told her. I said, hey, you think what's funny is y'all think y'all doing the Most High's pleasure,
Yeah.
but really what you're doing is you're not even you're so focused on what we're doing that you're not even self-examining yourselves. You don't even know if you never once do it come to your mind, is the Most High pleased with what I'm doing.
Right. And let me say, I saw a video the other day. This nigga Yaakov did on slander video on one of the brothers, but he tried to tie it into prophecy. He tried to tie in something that the brother was going into in his personal life to the Mark of the Beast, and he tried to pass it off like it was a prophecy of the Mark of the Beast video he was putting out. But it wasn't that. He wasn't just teaching about the Mark of the Beast. It was a slander video against his brother, and you just tried to tie in the Mark of the Beast to that. You know what video I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know, not to put the
Shalom, Elder. Shalom. Y'all about Shabbat. Yeah. And he said it. They want blood, the Lord shall give them blood.
Yep.
Past scripture, mercy for them.
Yep.
Straight up, man. You know, that whole group is set up because they want blood, man. It's about a vengeance. So when the Lord brings that vengeance on them, hey, it wasn't a problem when you was dishing the vengeance out.
Hey,
so when the Lord bring the vengeance back on you, you can't say nothing.
What did he say about Esau in Ezekiel the 35th chapter? Because
thou hast hated blood shall pursue thee.
There it is. I couldn't think of the word. Why?
Oh, James, what's that? James, was that 3 and 13? He that judgeth without mercy shall be judged with no mercy. I think it's James 3 and 13. I'm not sure exactly.
It's right around there.
It might be Peter if it's not James.
Let me see.
Is it James 2?
The third chapter. Then maybe it's 2. Yeah. James 2 and 12 says, So speak ye and do, and so do, as they shall be judged by the law of liberty. Mm-hmm. For he shall have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy. And mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And mercy rejoiceth against judgment, because what is mercy? When you get something that you don't deserve. That's how it go, right?
Yeah.
I don't let somebody grab it, but
you deserve a punishment, but
you get out.
The Lord spare you of the judgment. You know, that's better than getting judged, man.
Hey, but to make the point I was kind of alluding to earlier, that's the difference of when it changed from the law, how we all got judged. Everybody was guilty of transgressing the law as a nation, but when it switched over to faith, some get to get out of it now, get mercy because of that. You know, and that was the point I was kind of making earlier, alluding to. Now, but some of you guys still want to condemn people that's showing faith. They may make mistakes, but they're exhibiting faith, which is what the is by now. You know, that's the what's the word I'm looking for? That's what we're judged by now, by the faith we have.
Yeah.
The faith in the works, not just by the works of the law anymore.
Well, I got something
You
real
got it.
quick. This is Sirach in Apocrypha chapter 28. I'm going to start at the top. It says, "He that revenges shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance." Just like the Avenger movement is about keeping our sins or whatever it is they think we're doing ain't right in remembrance, and they got to record it and put it out there and show the whole world that that's what we do. You know, we wicked, we this, we that. Well, the very same wickedness that you niggas are doing, the Lord got it in his remembrance. Remember that.
Because we not doing anything carnal unto you. The Lord said vengeance is his. You know, he gonna repay the vengeance that you, and if you look at Matthew 12:36, it says every idle word.
And what kind of integrity is that for a man to go and search out your shortcomings? You know, I'm gonna find out what this man is sinning at. We all sinning somewhere. You know, we all coming up short of the glory.
And show you how cowardly this nigga is see, brothers, you know what I'm saying, we like an open book, man. We do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go out there on the highways and hedges, and we confident in the doctrine that we teach. We not making no changes. We not gonna change it for nobody. We don't care who gets offended. You know what I'm saying? We let it all out there. Everybody know about Great Millstone, man. You try to go into the different social media sites. Hey, we regular men. We men just like everybody else. We got hobbies. We got desires. We do all that, man. But see, but when niggas like y'all hide yourselves.
Yep.
It's easy to hide yourself and your whole life and keep yourself in the dark while trying to shoot darts over to people that you could fully see. It's easy to do that shit, man. But if the Lord was to reveal all the wickedness that y'all niggas are doing,
and that's the thing. And there's people that do that. They're the ones that really got something to hide.
Hell yeah,
something to hide that they'll be condemned for.
Yep.
You know, whether it be lack of faith or something. Those are the ones that really do have something to hide. We put it out there because what? In hopes that others will see. But we do inquire about it and then come into the faith. Oh, this is what y'all about? Yeah. We don't eat this, we don't do that. But y'all hiding something somewhere. When them guys try to point the finger at somebody else to take focus off what they're not doing or what they can't do. Their shortcomings.
Man, the beam is so heavy coming from y'all. Y'all got
Right.
the beam heavy on us.
Yeah.
But what if the Lord was to put the beam on your ass and expose everything that you niggas not only have been doing, but what you currently doing? You know what I'm saying? What if that's a lot of the shit that y'all niggas are doing are just some straight dirtbag shit. And even niggas in the world, if they was to see what you niggas were doing, like brothers catching some of the shit that y'all niggas are doing against brothers, niggas in the world would want to fuck with y'all, man. Some niggas actually that actually have I'm talking about some street niggas,
Right.
But they go by a certain code of ethics, man.
Yep.
Some of the shit that y'all niggas are doing, man, them street dudes would fucking murk y'all niggas, man. Excuse my language, but there's some street cats out there that would murk you niggas, man.
Yeah.
On behavior like that.
Hey, you don't put nobody personal business out there.
Put brothers' family out there.
Come on, man.
That's crossing way over boundaries.
What kind of integrity is it when a brother's personal business or his place of work get harassed by your calls or and your threats or whatever, and the man don't go see you about that? He gonna have patience and let Yahweh Shai deal with you, man. That how much integrity is that? That's the part that you're missing. They miss the fact that this man have every right to come at you in a very harmful way, a very carnal way. But we're spiritual men.
Hey, bro.
I know brothers men that'll do that from the streets or whatever, or that will do that for the next man just because they don't like that whole ass shit going on in the world at all.
Yeah,
That don't have the same
But
standard.
brothers got so much integrity that they can see. Brothers, they know that if they was to start doing what these niggas are doing, that they would be steeping downward. They would be stepping down to the low, that low level that them niggas are on, man.
That's right.
No, keep your integrity. Don't stoop to that low.
Yep. And when you a king, man, you sit on your throne. You don't come off that throne for nobody, man. No matter how many rocks they throw at you or whatever the case may be. You don't come off that throne.
Yeah.
Make them come up to the top of the mountain to come get you. Don't come down the mountain to come fight somebody low on the ground. Make them come up and get you.
Yeah, let me finish this.
You got it.
It's verse 2. It says, "Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto
Is
thee."
that the beginning? Start at the top again. That was good.
God, Sirach 28:1, it says, "He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance.
That's right.
Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest."
That's right.
Show some integrity, man.
Mercy.
You know, because you acknowledge that you fall short too of the glory. Verse 3, one man beareth hatred against another, and doeth he yet seek pardon from the Lord? Show no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins? If he that is but flesh nourish hatred, who will entreat for the pardon of his sins? Come on, man. You would want, if we was to find out and all the wickedness that you've done, and we went on a campaign and we formed a group similar to your the Avengers or whatever, and we was to start putting all your dirty laundry out there, hey, you're gonna want mercy.
Yeah.
But what makes you think you deserve that when you didn't show it back to the men that you're trying to tarnish?
And then we wouldn't deserve mercy no more either, though, for not taking the low of it, not exhibiting integrity. That's why we won't stoop down to that level.
Yep. Come. So go back to Samuel.
In 2 Samuel 2, that's like in 2 Samuel 22 and 25. Therefore the Lord hath recompensed me according to my righteousness,
Yep.
according to the cleanness in his sight.
Go ahead.
With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. It's like it.
Yep.
And with the upright man thou wilt show thyself upright.
Yeah, he'll show a man that's of integrity. He's gonna show himself to that man with integrity, man. Go ahead.
With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure,
Uh-huh.
and with the froward thou wilt show thyself unsavory.
Yeah. So if you forward, meaning you speak, real rash, you speak kind of perverse, and the Lord, there's a rebuke that is not comely.
Yeah.
The Lord, he'll meet you too, man.
Yeah.
You got brothers that are, that's kind of fire-headed, so to speak, and when they get on brothers, they get on brothers harsh. Hey, well, if you that type of brother, when the Lord, if you do something and the Lord has a brother that's just as fiery as you, cuss you out the same way, you gotta expect that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta the way you dish it out, you gotta take it too. Hold your integrity, man. Okay? Good.
This is Matthew 5 and 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh.
Mm.
And then I'm go down to 10. It says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah. And mercy is one of the weightier matters of judgment. So if you're a king, you know when to display mercy and when to display judgment, punishment, man.
Yeah.
There's certain guys that may be more deserving of mercy than judgment. And then there are certain guys that's, it works it could work vice versa. Now that man, he's more worthy of punishment than mercy, man. And you having that spiritual discernment, you know how to detect when a man actually deserves mercy and when he doesn't. Okay? Mm-hmm. You give mercy to a man because you see he has integrity. He has character. He has acknowledgement of going off, man. He confesses his faults right to you. He not lying to brothers. He not trying to hide anything from brothers, man. He sincerely want to basically get rid of that demon. But then you got guys that's on the flip side, they try to proclaim, outwardly like they're righteous, but really they hold back, certain wicked deeds about themselves, but apparently it usually comes to light, man. And when it gets found out, sometimes the judgment comes down harsh on them, man. And that happens.
The elder,
Micah, Micah 7.
Yeah, 7:18. This is GMS ISAL 444. It says Micah 7:18 says, "Who is a power like unto thee, that pardoneth iniquity and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy."
Yeah. The Lord don't bear grudges, man.
Yeah.
Okay. He don't, especially if you're doing the right thing. Why would he continue to be angry for you? Keep his anger with you if you turn away from your sins, your wickedness.
And if he did keep grudges, we'd all be dead.
Yeah.
Because this is not the only life that you lived.
Right.
All our past lives, we didn't messed up.
Yeah.
That's why Yahweh Shai had to come back for and die on the cross for the elect's sake.
There you go.
Because none of us are worthy of the kingdom, if you think about it. Because we all sinned, we all transgressed. Our whole nation went under captivity because we all disobeyed. So if he was like how we are in the flesh, then we have no hope, basically.
Yeah.
The Most High, he's a righteous, reasonable power, man. The Lord doesn't just do wickedness just to do it, man. It's all purpose. It's counsel behind why he does what he does.
It wasn't set up for our destruction.
No.
But that all will come into. I'm maybe miswording it, but it wasn't set. This was
that 2 Peter you talking about where he says, he rather that all should come to repentance.
Yeah, come.
That's 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. I think like 10 maybe.
Yeah, let me see.
That he's not willing that any should perish.
Yeah, that's
2 Peter 3.
Yeah, 3. I'm gonna start up at 9. It says, "The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering
That's the one.
to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance." That's why the old atonement thing when we was sacrificing, man. That's why that was even put there. So we would learn, let's not make that mistake. So when we do make mistakes, we can atone for those and we'll be all right. We get mercy from death. But it's about acknowledging those offenses. Well, Jake, now, man, it's crazy how the street world goes. These gangs and shit, man. One nigga kill somebody accidentally, then that hood come back and kill one of them guys, and then that hood keep going back. Wait, it didn't balance and cancel each other out 3 kills ago. But Jake could just keep going back and forth. Now they got eternal beef. Forgetting that the first person was in the wrong for sleeping with his woman or whatever, and then he killed him, made it even.
Black culture.
Yeah, this is terrible, man. But that's a part of our culture now.
Or another scenario, Esau killing, Esau disguising himself in a gang member's car and killing the Jake. Now the tension is still between Jake because Jake think that they killed each other instead of being mad at who the real enemy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Our people, Jake has no character, no integrity. They have no judgment.
Black culture. Let's label it that way. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that's in this world, because the world now is under black culture. Hip hop culture is now like a world culture that our people just are in. That the world is okay with, because the world is in a world of negativity and darkness. There's no righteousness in black culture or in this culture of the world.
There's no coincidence. Like in the hip hop world, a lot of these young niggas that's coming up right now, a lot of them they shit on the OGs.
Yep.
All the rappers from that paved the way for these niggas to basically fuck up hip hop. They come in this thing with hey, you old niggas, y'all fall back, man. We taking it over. You old niggas, man, y'all in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like they have no respect for the old school, man.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
They're basically that spirit of not having respect for your elders That spirit is big, heavy in this generation, man.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. It's no respect, no honor, man.
Yep. No integrity.
You know, it says in the last days, you know, people gonna be disrespectful to parents,
Yep. Unthankful,
unholy.
Yep.
You know, because there's no integrity left in our society, man. You know, Jake don't have none of that. Truth is perished out of the land.
That's right.
You know, so yeah, let's go back.
Yep.
I have.
Was that it in 2 Samuel?
It's like
Was that it? Where'd you leave off?
27.
27. Okay, no, that's it.
Huh.
If somebody can, but we should give me the book of Acts 25, because I want to show something. Even a heathen, all right, a straight up heathen showed an ounce of integrity, man. And this was dealing with Apostle Paul when the wicked niggas was basically trying to get him. They were trying to send him to Caesar to basically get put to death. And you had he was sent to Festus, and Festus was like, well, because he talked to Apostle Paul, and he saw that Apostle Paul was really not in the wrong. He wasn't worthy of punishment, but he saw that them wicked niggas was trying to condemn him to death. The same way they tried to do the Lord when they brought him to Pontius Pilate.
Yeah.
And he showed the same sentiment that Pontius Pilate had. Like, hey, I don't see any fault in this man. What could I charge him with?
Yeah.
That I send him to the to be persecuted before the emperor.
Mm-hmm.
So even Esau, man, even though that man he's the devil,
mm-hmm.
but in these little points in time in history dealing with what happened with Apostle Paul and Yahushua, so on and so forth, statements that they was made and considering their case, they showed integrity. Get Acts 25 real quick.
At the top, you can probably read if you want to read the whole account, but I think the point is down towards
start at like
maybe 8 or so.
Well, I'm gonna end up reading the whole chapter if I start way up there.
8? Okay,
because
so
the point I'm trying to get is way at the end of the
like
chapter.
10, maybe at the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, kind of, yeah, all right.
Start.
Well, can I read this part real quick? Because it's verse 2, like 11.
You in that chapter?
Yeah, just the one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 11 says, "For if I be an offender or have committed anything worthy of death, I refuse not to die. But if there be none of these things whereof these accuse me, no man may deliver me unto them. I appeal unto Caesar."
Read that again. Read that again.
That's what I'm saying.
Kinda.
Verse 11, it says, "For if I be an offender or have committed anything worthy of death, I refuse not to die." I'll accept it.
I'll accept my death, man.
Yep.
If they can, what they're accusing me of, if they can actually prove that, hey, I accept my death, man.
Yep.
Integrity. Go ahead.
"But if there be none of these things whereof these accuse me, no man may deliver me unto them. I appeal unto Caesar."
Let me appeal to Caesar. Right? Go ahead.
Then Festus, the whole chapter. Then Festus, when he had conferred with the council, answered, "Hast thou appealed unto Caesar? Unto Caesar shalt thou go."
Yeah.
And now we can jump to where you want to go.
Yeah, jump down to when he was talking with Festus.
Before
you can start like around maybe 20.
Okay, verse 20. I'll just start verse 20. "And because I doubted of such manner of questions, I asked him whether he would go to Jerusalem and there be judged of these matters. But when Paul had appealed to be reserved unto the hearing of Augustus, I commanded him to be kept till I might send him to Caesar.
Go ahead.
Then Agrippa said unto Festus, I would also hear the man myself tomorrow. Tomorrow, he said, thou shalt hear him.
Go ahead.
It says, and on the morrow when Agrippa was come, and Bernice with great pomp, and was entered into the place of hearing with the chief captains and the principal men of the city, at Festus' commandment, Paul was brought forth.
So this is at Paul's hearing, man.
Mm-hmm.
For his
everybody was
appeal.
present.
Yep. Go ahead.
And Festus said, King Agrippa, and all men which were here present with us, ye see this man about whom all the multitude of the Jews have dealt with me. In the word dealt in this verse, in my sword says petition me that I brought him on trial. Anyway, it says both at Jerusalem and also here, crying that he ought not to live any longer.
Crying that he ought not to live. So basically, they was like, man, we kill this nigga, kill him.
And I already got y'all shine.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Going down the line.
Picture Yakko, all them niggas like, hey man, you gotta kill this nigga, man. He ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Straight up, man. Go ahead,
25, it says, but when I found that he had committed nothing worthy of death.
But when I found that he didn't do nothing wrong.
And that he himself had appealed to Augustus, I have determined to send him, of whom I have no certain thing to write unto my Lord. Wherefore I have brought him forth before you, and especially before thee, O King Agrippa, that after examination I might have somewhat to write. For it seemed to me unreasonable to send a prisoner and not withal to signify the crimes laid against him.
Come on, man, that's integrity, man.
I'm gonna make him a prisoner, but I didn't have nothing to charge him with.
Yeah. How could I judge? How could I charge? How could I send this man when I don't have any charges laid up against him? I don't have nothing on this guy. I would have been able to write him off and send him, but I don't see nothing. He didn't do anything.
Yep.
That's why I come to you, King.
Yep. And Paul gave the idea, hey, let's go see what the king say about this, man, because and if you read along, we won't. But if you read down, you'll see that the king let Paul speak for himself, let him testify on his own behalf.
Come on. So he was being what? He was being reasonable.
Yep.
He showed integrity, man. Okay?
Yep. And that's the favor.
And you saw how these niggas were, they were unreasonable.
Yep.
He basically saying what these guys are doing is unreasonable. Because I find nothing against this man. Just like when Pontius Pilate was like, man, damn. Y'all choose
that whole 25th chapter is good.
Y'all choose a murderer over this man?
Yeah, but Barabbas.
Are y'all like seriously?
Yeah. Woo.
You know what I mean?
A known murderer.
Yeah.
The movie Barabbas, I watched that, a little DVD movie of Barabbas. They was like, hey, he let me out. Who's this guy they let you out for? And they, then the buzz of Yahweh Shai got to going. But it was like, man, they let you out. You must be powerful to let you out. And then they realized that it was about Yahweh Shai, and then he was supposed to have remorse for that he got taken out. But he was a known murderer. He wasn't fighting. I'm locked up, and that's what I do.
No.
But then they let him out to kill the Lord. How wicked is that, man? Unreasonable. How unreasonable? How much lack of integrity did Jake have?
God.
The elder dropping him. Gee.
Oh yeah. God.
Leviticus 19:32, it says, "Thou shalt." This is Isaiah 4:4. It says, "Thou shalt rise up before the hoary head." Right? It says, "And honor the face of the old men, and fear thy power. I am the Lord."
God.
The Lord is all about respect.
Right? Exactly. But this generation, they don't respect. They don't respect anything, man. How can we expect integrity from niggas that come into this thing when that's the type of vibration That's the type of world that they come from.
Come on, because look at it.
A world of disrespect, man.
Look at
no honor.
Exactly, bro.
No integrity, man. They don't even respect their own biological fathers.
They don't respect them.
They don't. Of course not.
You know.
Of course not. You know. So that's why you got niggas like Yakos and all these niggas that fall out, man. They have no respect.
Yeah.
That's why the first thing that they go into when they get kicked out, hey man, it's not about man. You don't have to come up following men.
Yeah.
It's basically about disrespect, man. They never had respect. You know?
Yeah, that's the problem with black culture. Black culture doesn't know how to respect somebody for doing the right thing, man. It's shunned. You could help an old lady on the side of the road. That old lady might sue you if you pop her tire, trying to help change her. You know, if you say you perform CPR, somebody sue you for cracking their rib, trying to, you know, or whatever, for saving their life. They mad. Yeah. It's crazy out there.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Back in the days, man, like my grandfather used to tell me, you know, different uncles, you know, it was a level of respect back in their day.
Yeah.
All right. Because that was the days when it wasn't no fake, phony, effeminate, you know, like you had to be a man back in them days, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like even the dudes in the streets, man, certain dudes had a level of respect. And it was certain things that you wouldn't cross because you actually respected, even if you didn't get along with him, even if you hated him, but you respected that man.
You didn't spray nobody's house or their family.
No.
You know, I heard about the old gang shit. You didn't spray nobody's house or their family.
No.
You kept that man when he was by himself. You know.
Didn't the mafia have some type of code where you're not supposed to? If there's a guy out there that you got to get. Mm-hmm. His wife and children is off limits.
Hey, Tony Montana from Scarface.
Yep.
I don't kill no kids, man.
Right.
You know. And the same thing in the mob. You don't commit adultery.
Yep.
With another man's wife.
Yep.
You know.
But in this current generation, man, it's just
those are tactics of war. That's the norm of what you do.
Mm-hmm. You know. And it's in all the music. You know, the vibration of the music is the people. A lot of times, like with the no respect and not feeling as if anybody else paved the way for you. That's in the music. Self-entitlement, you self-made, all that. That's in all the music. Yeah. Like nobody has helped you get to the point that where you at.
Right. Like all these rappers ain't got to honor Curtis Blow and Run DMC or whoever else. It would never put you on or James Brown even going all the way, you know, even before him. If they didn't say certain things on musical instrument and certain cadences, you would have never had nothing going on.
That's why you'll see niggas like Soulja Boy going after Ice-T talking shit. You know, you'll see, you know, the young
KRS-One and Nelly. Remember that?
Yeah, man.
You know.
All the young rappers, because you know Tupac, him being relevant 20 years, something odd years later, you know what I'm saying, they still compare themselves to that dude. Yeah. Oh, I'm better than that nigga, like that. This, you know, like Jake, there's no honor among Jake anymore, man. Yep. That's why you'll only find that within the body of Yahweh Shai. Okay. We acknowledge, we understand double honors to your elders, because those are the men that prepared the way for you.
That's right.
Okay, they're the ones that watched over your soul. They're the one that taught you what you. They're the one that groomed you up. They trained you up as a disciple, man, as a student. Mm-hmm. If you came up under somebody's tutelage or teachings, you're that person's student, man.
That's right. And we all did, man. We all came up under those men.
You know, fruit of their labor.
Yep.
So there you what? That'll make them your elders. Okay. They got more experience over you. Through their experience, they were able to teach you what they went through.
Yep. Give you the experience and what they learned.
But niggas without integrity, they won't hold that principle, man. They'll completely compromise it and go and do their own thing. You know? So y'all, let's if y'all got to close in scripture, we can end it off. If y'all got something to end off on.
No, but I could read 1 Peter 5 though. Without waiting.
End off with that.
Wasn't happening.
1 Peter 5, yeah, go ahead.
1 Peter, because it kind of ties into what you just said, and then you'll see integrity being taught in this verse, in this chapter. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 1 says, "The elders which are among you I exhort, who I am an elder, who I am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Yahweh Shai, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed." It says, "Feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind." And our elders and apostles did that, man. That's why we know it on the level where we know it. Yeah. They were the great examples. It said, "Neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock." It says, "And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble." Humble you. It's the two differences, right? "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time." Yep, I think I just stopped there. Yep. The one I kept thinking was the one that said, we might have read it, I didn't understand the wording, but the one that says, remembering that we're also, that our Father in heaven is who's going to judge us. Be careful how you judge these other men, because our Father in heaven is going to judge you. We read something along that line, but I don't know if the one I was thinking, if that was it or not. But it was something along those lines, though. Basically saying that, when we judge somebody, man, have mercy, because we, understand where that man's coming from, that he's trying to get it right. And if he humbles down and repents, hey, you can't be mad at that man. Because we don't want the same, I may be a Lord or judge over somebody right now, but who's over me? Yahweh Shai is for sure over me, and if he come and judge me, I'm gonna want the same judgment that I was,
I think I got it.
From that,
Romans 3, I believe.
I think that's it.
There's Romans 3.
Yep, that's right. I looked at Romans.
Let's see. We can start at 3 and 4.
Yep.
It says, "God forbid, Yahweh forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
Mm-hmm.
But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yahweh, what shall we say? Is Yahweh unrighteous who taketh vengeance? I speak as a man. Yahweh forbid. For then how shall Yahweh judge the world? For if the truth of Yahweh hath more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner?" It goes down into, we can go to 23.
It might be where it's at.
This is Romans 3 and 23. "For all have sinned," 22.
Yeah.
"Even the righteousness of Yahweh, which is by faith of Yahweh Shai, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Yahweh Shai, whom Yahweh hath set forward to be a propitiation through faith in his blood."
Yeah, man. If Yahweh Shai didn't come down, man, we were done. And that was what gave us his glorious sacrifice. Was what made it all good for everybody to make it now. And his faith that he showed was what made it good for everybody.
For the elect.
For the elect. But I'm saying to bring even the 2/3 back into the fold also.
Yeah. through the elect, you know.
Yep, through the elect. Yep.
He's gonna ultimately have mercy on them, but it's gonna start with him having mercy on his elect first.
Yep.
You know?
Because the real mercy is coming back into the graces of Yahweh, man. You know, but then to escape condemnation, man, that's another level of mercy that's, man, super valuable, man. You don't want to miss that one. Is there more or no?
Let's finish up the verse.
All right.
Whom Yahweh hath set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past, through the forbearance of Yahweh.
I think that was it up at the top of that 23, I think, but yeah, so we got it, bro.
Yeah, this we could leave off. Okay. This is Job 31, and I'm gonna start at 6. It says, "Let me be weighed in an even balance, that the Most High may know mine integrity. If my step have turned out of the way, and mine heart walk after mine eyes, and if any blot have cleaved to mine hands, then let me sow, and let another eat. Yeah, let my offspring be rooted out." This is integrity, man.
Yeah.
This is humility right here, man. And this is basically, we are to mirror this characteristic, man.
That's a Job.
This is Job.
Yeah.
All right. We got to understand. Hey, we got to be balanced. All right. It says, "If mine heart have been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her." Come on, man.
Hey, but how does that happen, right? How is that lawful? Because you be dead. So she can go into another man once you die.
Yeah.
Because what do you die for?
If I do something real wicked and it comes back on me, so be it.
Yep.
That's basically what Job is saying, man.
Not giving himself excuse,
No.
you know, to do wicked, but just simply saying, if you found fault in me, I accept it, the punishment thereof.
Yeah.
But if I be found righteous,
And this is how, like when guys get kicked out, man, you gotta have that same mentality, man.
yep.
You know,
Hey.
if you did something and you know you did it, if the judgment come down on you, then hey, you gotta take it, man.
But getting kicked out don't mean you kicked out from the elect, man. You know,
God.
but they proved that they deserve to get kicked out by discontinuing our first profession, which is to wake up the elect for salvation. You got it, bro. There was more. That was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yep.
You know, that was basically a display of Job's integrity. All right, and there was many examples all throughout that book, man.
Yeah.
You know, so hey, that's what we gotta be, man. We gotta show virtue, man. All right, the Lord is looking for virtuous women. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Yeah. That's not just talking about
I
females.
ain't talking about our literal women, man.
Yeah.
That's talking about the guys in his truth.
That's right.
Okay? And part of having virtue is having integrity, man. All right, having moral character.
That's what you want from your natural woman anyway.
Exactly.
Integrity. She ain't gonna catch eye with anybody that just walk by.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. You know, so, Lord willing, this was edifying to you brothers that tuned in.
Yeah.
We just, the Spirit just kind of got on us to touch up on that topic. And, and the brothers in Dallas, they was going into, it was basically getting on bitch-ass niggas.
Yeah.
And we acknowledge that, you're going to always have those among us, man.
Yeah.
They still here in Great
On this
Millstone.
side, yeah.
There's still niggas in Great Millstone, man. So, this is kind of like an exhortation. We putting that vibration, hey, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that nigga shit, man. Check yourself, examine yourself, man. It's about integrity, man. Integrity is integral in this thing, man.
And if you don't if you don't see it in yourself, and a brother call you out for it, humble down, man, and check yourself, and take it as the Lord is telling you something, man. Brothers ain't just trying to get on you just for sake of getting on you. And if a brother does that, then he got to deal with with the judgment to come down on him.
Come. That's right. Yeah, you know. So hey, you know, and it's basically about the brotherhood.
That's right.
You know, we got to be considerate, man. We got to be fair. We got to be reasonable. We got to show mercy. We got to show balance and judgment. We got to know when to rebuke guys and when to, you know, hold back on a brother, man. Understand brothers. Okay, but if you a nigga, you just move based off of your emotions, man. We ain't got room for that in this thing, man.
That's right.
All right, remember yourselves and show yourselves men. So with that, you know, we're gonna close. We're gonna give all the praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'arachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And greetings and salutations to all you brothers that tuned in. All right, to all you brothers all throughout the four corners that are pushing this truth, all in righteousness, sincerity, and all you know, humility. Hey, keep pushing, keep striving, man. All right, keep praying, fast if you need to. Hey, and get on fire, man.
Right.
The year of the prophecy, man, prophesy.
Right.
All right, so with that, we're going to close. We're going to say shalom.
Shalom.